Right, I want to find the queen in this hive, if I can. Mark her and put her in that hive over there for Jenny. Now, it's not the very best of days, but it's getting better than it was, and time is marching on. I'd quite like to try and get it done today if I can. It might not be possible. We'll see how it is. Oh, looks like I've got a spare queen excluder there. That's quite useful. Put that somewhere else. Should be established as a colony, this one. It's a 2019 queen. So it should have quite a lot of bees in it. Not going to be a lot of honey in it because they would have eaten it all if there was any here in the last 2 weeks. Just check the underside of the queen excluder, see if the queen are there. Doesn't seem to be. So now it's hunt the queen time in here. Quite full that frame, tight. Try the next one. Right, can't see a queen on that frame. Even that one was a bit tight to get out as well. Come on girls, settle down. You're not going to like this. Well, she's laying alright, plenty of eggs in there. Even though the weather's been quite bad, there's still quite a lot of eggs in these frames, so they're probably hopeful the weather's going to get better. It's all laid with eggs around here. We're not We had a superb spring honey flow this year. 2020 spring honey flow was probably the best ever, but I've experienced. But we're not getting a summer honey flow at all. The last 2 weeks, quite critical 2 weeks, have been pretty horrible. Last week particularly. Full of eggs in here. This is cat brood on this one. The honey in this frame here, for the nectar anyway, that they brought in recently. So there is something out there if they could only get out there and get it. Well, she's not making herself immediately obvious. couple of short frames in here. But they make them their own. Doesn't make much difference once they've had them for a year or so. This is not on that way. There are nooks and crannies that these queens can get into. There she is. Found her. She's there. So now I've got to keep my eye on her and at the same time get hold of some kit. There we go. So she's in there now. Pins are rolled off. First of all, I'm going to give her a bit of white. And then the year colour, green last year. No. Let her run around. Well, there's a bit on her wings. Didn't really want it on her wings, but there's a bit on her wings. Hopefully not on her eyes. Look, she's still. Now, I just want it to dry. Take a little while. She can feel it. She can feel it on her when it starts to dry, and her legs will come up. She just did that. And of course the bees, the other worker bees, will try and clean it off. And I don't want it cleaned off. They can clean it off her wings, which they will do. Go on, keep going till it dries off. Just have to make sure she's walking okay as well. Get off. Right, that's probably long enough. So there she is. She's going into Jenny's hive, which you probably can't see over there because I'm out of shot. So, whoa! Now what we don't need don't really need the inspection board in. Put another frame in to keep it company. Right. Now, get rid of some of this stuff. Queen excluder back on. And we'll stop for a minute. Right. Well, I've got Jenny's crown board and entrance block, or entrance block. Now I'm going to shake some of those beads in with the queen. Then I'm going to put that brood box on top of Jenny's brood box for the time being. So this can come out for a moment. Need some more spare frames to go in. Quite a fair number of bees. Well, they should find that entrance now, hopefully. That's their new entrance. Jenny's box is set the warm way, so I twisted that brew box to match. It's going to take them some time to settle down and get used to this situation. That half frame that's not actually fitting properly, so it'd be quite good to get that. I'm going to take that one out and put a different frame in instead. Alright, well that's given them a good bit of disruption. I'll put the supers back on in a minute and leave them to get settled down. The queen can't go anywhere above the queen excluder. The bees will look after all this brood up here, which will hatch out, and the queen won't have any choice but to lay down the bottom, and so the bees will draw out some of the the foundation there so that she can lay it. And then eventually all of this can be taken away, and I could put a feeder on there to feed them up a bit, or we'll see what happens. But it's looks like there's a fair number of bees going to end up in this box. This box is not quite made the way I like it, because it's got self-spacing frames in it, these Hoffman self-spacing frames. This method here is so that the frames match each other and are spaced out correctly in the box. But then what they've got in this box, instead of simple runners, they've got castellated runners. So they've actually spaced the frames out yet again, and they've made that spacing quite a lot more than what a self-spacing frame is. So it's not really quite what you want, I don't think. I haven't seen it for a long time actually. Castellations in a brood box I haven't seen for ages. So that's an interesting one. This floor now can get recycled. Looks like they kept it fairly clean, Kevin. So and yeah, some of the bees are drifting into there in the same way as when I did a similar job to that one. Some of the bees drifted into this. When you've got so many hives close to each other like this, they do drift into each other's hives, which is why in lots of ways it's not really an ideal situation for keeping your aphid. I mean, these are all supposed to be here temporary and to move off onto somebody else's apiary, and that one's hopefully going to go fairly soon. And then that's if they're any good. This one probably won't go anywhere because it's no good. At least I don't think it's that good. Unless it requeens itself and gets sorted out, it'll be staying here for the time being. Anyway, there you go, Jenny. That's your queen in your box, and it might look a bit harsh on the bees, but the idea is to get rid of the mites, because this will get taken away soon, and that will get rid of quite a lot of the mites, and they should be happier without mites. Although they didn't have a lot of mites in this hive. Hasn't been going for years and years and years like this and built up a lot of mites.